Bringing people and communities together on seclosounds.org.
Your listening station.
Good morning and welcome to another Sticks radio show here on Seclo Sounds. This Monday morning, I can't believe it's already September. Where has the year gone? Now today it's a slightly different show. I'm not in the studio. I'm down in Weston at Harriet Kelsall's jewellery studio. She's an award-winning jeweller. We're talking to her in a little while. Also, we're going to be doing the events, What's On in Milton Keynes at the theatres later on in the show. Plus today, Harriet's chosen all the music, and she's chosen some great songs. We're going to be playing Prince later on, a bit of Blondie, a bit of David Bowie, and some Santana. But we start off with this one. I remember this when I was at college. I'm going back a few years now. This is the Pretenders and a fabulous Brass in Pocket.
Got this in pocket. Got that though. I'm gonna use it. Intention. Feeling mental, gonna make you notice. Got motion, restrained emotion. I've been diving, detour leaning, no reason, just seems so pleasing. Gonna make you notice. Gonna use my arms. Gonna use my legs, gonna use my style, gonna use my side step, gonna use my fingers, gonna use my imagination, 'cause I gonna make you see, there's nobody else here, no one like me. I'm special, so special. I gotta have some of your attention. Give it to me. I got rhythm. I can't miss a beat. I got new skank. Sorry, I got something. I'm winking at you. Gonna make you notice. Gonna use my arms. Gonna use my legs. Gonna use my style. Gonna use my side step. Gonna use my fingers. Gonna use my imagination. 'Cause I gonna make you see, there's nobody else here, no one like me. I'm special, so special. I gotta have some of your attention. Give it to me, 'cause I gonna make you see, there's nobody else here, no one like me. I'm special, so special. I gotta have some of your attention. Give it to me. And when you walk,
Joined on the show today by Harriet Kelsall, a jeweller from Hertfordshire. Good morning, Harriet.
Good morning, thank you for having me.
It's great. You've got a lovely jeweller's studio, it is, isn't it? Here in Weston, where we're actually recording today this show.
Yes, yeah.
It's a lovely place. I must ask you about how you grew up and how you discovered jewellery. I think most women discover jewellery. That's probably the wrong phrase to use, isn't it? Really?
Well, I think I discovered it very early because my dad, where I grew up in St Albans, he was a GP, retired now, but he was also a very keen and passionate hobby jeweller. and he used to make professional quality jewellery. And so he'd come home from his surgery really late at night and sit down at his workbench and start making jewellery, and I would love it. So I'd be sitting there, 4 years old, at his feet, watching what he was doing, and then because he was tired, because he'd just done a really hard day's work, he'd drop something, and I'd pick them up and say, well, that's the diamond, Daddy, and that's the cubic zircon, and so from a very early age, I just sort of absorbed all of his amazing knowledge and talent, and actually he was great because he saw obviously that I was really interested. And I remember probably my best early lesson in jewellery was I said to him, Daddy, I want to make a ring. And he said, great, so what we're going to do is you draw the ring you want to make, because he's a believer in design rather than just make it up as you go along. And so I drew this big picture of a ring, and it was I was 4, and it was a typical child's drawing of a ring with a great big purple stone and a picture of my rabbit on one side and a picture of my teddy on another. Drew this ring, and I said, right, Daddy, I want to make this. And he said, okay, and he said, we're going to make exactly what you've drawn, which was just the best experience in what something really looks like compared to what it looks like in your mind, and also what it looks like on the drawing. And I made most of it, and he helped me by obviously handling the blowtorch when needed and doing the heating bits, and we made this ring which I've still got today, and it was a lovely, inspiring early lesson from my dad. So yeah. So
it's the reverse of cooking with Mum.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, very similar, but it's kind of different. And so, I was always fascinated by his gemstones because he wouldn't hold a lot, obviously, because he was making mainly for friends and very high quality jewellery. But he'd have this little box which used to have about 20 different little packets in it with all different gemstones, and he'd have opals in one and an amethyst in another. And I just used to like nothing more than when he got out these little packets of beautiful stones from all over the world, and trying to imagine where that was found and how it was found in the earth, and putting that into beautiful jewellery and making something even more beautiful than the stone itself.
There must be some great story for some of these stones, if only they could tell you, really.
Oh, absolutely. And and actually that's a really interesting point because they really do have a story. And actually we were talking earlier about the fact that there's a big ethical story with gemstones, and that in itself is a story that lots of people don't really know about or think about, but just that alone is a story. But as you say, I'm sure if they could talk,
it'd be fabulous. All these diamonds in these big mines and all that.
Well, and billions of years old.
I know. Cross carbon, basically, isn't it? It's
extraordinary.
Absolutely unbelievable. I mean, your studio began life in your spare room in 1998. Is that not that long ago, actually? Is it? What's that about? 18 years. That's not that long, really, from a small studio in your spare bedroom to what you've got now, which is huge, really. It's a big old studio you have here.
I've been really lucky, and I think a lot of it's to do with the fact that I've got an amazing team here, and this is our main headquarters, fairly near Weston, and then we've also got a shop in central Cambridge, but this is where it all happens. This is our jewellery centre, and this is where our goldsmiths are, and as you've experienced yourself, you can watch the jewellers at work, and come into our coffee shop and have a coffee and just enjoy the experience.
Yeah, it's. I mean, and you opened this. Was this opened early 2000?
Yes, this particular. Yes, that must be about right. Yes, it's just sometimes the years blur. I actually can't believe 18 years have gone by.
I know,
like
it's frightening, isn't it? I know. I always find that a thing. And then, I mean, you received in 2002. There's only 4 years on. You received a special commendation from the judges of the National Jewellery Awards. I'll get that organised.
That's right. Yes,
I'm terrible with titles and names.
Yeah, we did, and we've been very lucky with awards. And I think what made us stand out was that we were looking at the industry in a very different way. Because even though I'd been making jewellery since I was 4 years old, I went into the computer industry first because I went to study industrial design at university. Because my mum was saying to me, you know what, I know you love and can do the creative stuff, but you're also really good at maths and science, and as a woman you need to be financially independent, and those kind of subjects will always give you financial independence. So maybe you should pursue those. And so I thought, well, if I go and study industrial design, it's design, but it's got that element to it. And then I went into the computer industry, and so even though I'd always been making jewellery for myself and my friends and my family, and people would would ask me to make it. Actually, you know, I was doing that for a while, and so what then happened later is that I sort of brought the different elements together. So I had this quite technical background from the computer industry and the film industry that I'd been in before, and then I brought that together with my jewellery and my creativity and the design, and so consequently we were, I think, the first jeweller on the net, I think, because we had a website in 1996.
Wow.
And then I think it was a whole different approach, and I think that's what stood out. And because I hadn't come from a traditional jewellery retail background or a traditional jewellery design background, I saw things with new eyes. And I kind of thought, well, I think I can put these things together differently and actually approach the market in a completely new way. And so it was the sort of bringing together of those things and the innovation of that the jewellery industry quickly started to notice, and then we started to get lots of lovely awards, which was great.
You mentioned the films. You worked in the film industry.
That's right, yeah, I worked in an editing company. What we did was we did film editing systems. It was called Lightworks, based in London. And what I was doing was I was managing some software engineers. I was engineering manager, and I was also managing beta testers who were the editors who were editing on our machines. And so it was fantastic. I got to meet some amazing people, and our systems were used at all sorts of great films. And sadly, you know, Lightworks, they're not quite as well known as they used to be. Still going, producing some great products, but yeah, rather different from how they were then. But it was an interesting industry to be in.
Things move on.
They
And
do.
is that how you managed to get Charlie Higson to open your this venue back in?
Yeah, that's right. It's similar because I met my husband through the film industry. My husband now we work together here, but for many years he was a dubbing mixer, which, as you probably know, means you're doing film and television sound. Doing the sort of creative mixing of the soundtrack that you hear when you watch the film or watch the telly. And so he did really well in that industry, won lots of awards himself and BAFTA nominations and all sorts. And he was at one point very well known for comedy, and he did all of the sound on all sorts of things like Mr. Bean and Vic and Bob and The Fast Show. So that's how he knew Charlie.
Of course.
And what happened was that we were supposed to be having the studio opened by Stephen Fry, who was another contact of us who very kindly agreed to, because he's very interested in new business. But at the last minute, I think he felt awful, but he had to let us down. And it was the day of the opening, because I think I can't actually remember what it was, but I remember thinking, yes, you do need to go and do that, Stephen. But what happened was then Tim panicked and got on the phone to people, and Charlie was extremely kind and dropped everything and came over to open the studio for us. But do you know what? It was hilarious. I'm sure you can imagine. I can't begin to say some of the things he said, but it was very rude because he did it as the character. What was the character called? Swiss Tony. And so yeah, there was a lot about ring sizing, and I won't go on.
Yes, probably. Yeah, probably good job Stephen Fry wasn't here. Really, actually, be honest here.
Should know by the way you parked your car sideways that it wouldn't last. See, you're the kind of person that believes in making out once, love them and leave them fast. I guess I must be dumb. She had a pocket full of horses, Trojan and some of them used. But it was Saturday night, I guess that makes it alright. You see, what have I got to lose? And honey, when I saw all the pictures of the jockeys that were there before me. Believe it or not, I started to worry. I wondered if I had enough class. But it was Saturday.